It's Wednesday, November 26th. It's the end of the trading week for me. It is a short week because of Thanksgiving. I think the market is open half day Friday, but I don't plan on trading, so I'm just going to recap the past 3 days. It was yet again another tough week. It's just tough week after tough week. I never have a week where I can say that was easy. A few weeks ago, I had a green week, and I have no idea how I did that. I had more winning trades than losers. I put $200 in my account, and I have no idea how I did that. And I feel like my winning days, my winning trades, my winning weeks, like it just feels like luck. Like I realize I don't have an edge. When I am green, it's just pure luck. I'm pretty disappointed in myself this week, yet again. This week, I really wanted to focus on my goal was to have more discretion when entering trades. So, entering fewer trades and only taking the cleanest, clearest setup and letting trades go. So, I'm realizing how important market structure is and clean price action is to my strategies. And I'm getting better at identifying it, but there's still times where it's a gray area and I'm fighting the urge to enter. I'm trying my best to not enter when price action is choppy. And then if I don't know, if it's not clear, I also want to stay out if it's not clear. And I didn't do a very good job of that. But I am getting better. Like there are moments I stayed out because it wasn't great and I'm proud of that. But it's just not good enough. And I'm also making really stupid mistakes. I think I made 3 mistakes this week that totally preventable. Like I can do better. But I don't know why I'm making them. It's really, really dumb. And it's just another reason why day trading is so hard. Like you can have your entry criteria, you can have a checklist, you can have rules, you can not overtrade, you can wait for your setups, but you can still make dumb mistakes. And for me, like they're absolutely costing me. So I'm minus 20 on the week, which actually isn't terrible, but it's still really frustrating because I don't feel like I met my goal this week. And because of that, like that's why I'm red. So it's very frustrating. Monday, I took 2 losses. I just continued my losing streak, which was very disappointing. Both trades I entered I made a mistake on both, which it's just so frustrating. I took a short here. I don't think it was a bad setup. However, the way that I entered was wrong. I did it wrong. I didn't put my stop where I needed to put the stop. This was the second time I've made this mistake in the past couple weeks. So it's really frustrating to not learn your lesson. Sometimes you have to make the same mistake like so many times before it's finally ingrained in your brain. And I'm hoping that after this day, I'm hoping this lesson is ingrained in my brain. If I had entered correctly, one of 3 things would have happened. I either wouldn't have been in the trade. I enter with limit orders, so that means I don't always get filled. It would have been a break even trade or it would have been a winning trade. But because I entered wrong, it was kind of a bigger losing trade. All right. I then stayed out of a trade here, which would have been a winning trade. Um, but I'm working on that. Like, if I don't know, if it's not clear, stay out. Like, that is something I really need to work on. It's very hard for me to do. So, looking back, I actually see it would have been an okay trade. But at the time, I traded it the way I felt like I was supposed to. I then took a long up here. This is based off an SNR level. I don't have drawn in right now. I don't have drawn in on the chart. This was a really dumb mistake. I should not have entered this trade. Um, I don't know. I don't even know why. I looked at the wrong candle. So what I'm looking, this is like a pullback trade. I enter I decide if I want to enter based on the previous candle, the breakout candle. Right now, that's how I do it. And I think I just looked at the wrong candle. I looked at the breakout candle and I just said, okay, I'm going to enter. I don't know why. This is one of the most objective things on my checklist. I should not have entered this trade. This was super dumb. It did go in my favor significantly, actually, and I was able to lower my risk, but I should not have entered this trade at all. So, very, very frustrating to start the week with 2 losses, and because I made just stupid mistakes both times. Tuesday was my first green day in a week. It was my first day. I had 2 winning trades in over a month. So obviously I was very happy. Now, neither trade was like a home run. And this only covers like one of my lost days. I have a lot more lost days I need to make up for. But I was happy that, like, I felt like I traded the way I wanted to, except I did miss that opportunity to come in short on the fourth red candle up here. I have no idea why I missed this. I think I hesitated because it's not a setup I've taken in a while. It's not one I've seen or like practiced, but it definitely could have been something I entered. I don't know why. I feel like my brain is processing, it's not processing the correct things. I feel like my brain is blocking good setups, and then like with my mistakes, I'm blocking like things that I'm supposed to be looking for. I don't know, and it's really something I'm struggling with. But I didn't enter, and then I didn't enter down here. I was hoping I could, but there's something I look for on the footprint chart that told me to stay out, and I'm still trying to figure out if the footprint chart is helping me or hurting me. I don't know. It does help me from getting faked out, but it also keeps me from getting into good trades. So I don't have it figured out yet because I'm still working on like taking better trades, and I do wonder if I can get to the point where I'm identifying good price action. It's possible. I don't need the footprint chart, but I can't say for sure yet. I don't have enough data. I took a long here and I got 30 points across 4 contracts, so I was pretty happy with that. And then I took a short here and got 11.5 points, which is pretty close to my bare minimum for a winning trade. Total 41.5 points. I was happy about it. I was frustrated. I didn't enter up here, somehow like missed the trade. And that was it for the day. I decided I'm not pressing my luck. I haven't had 2 winning trades in a day in over a month. So that's it. I'm done. I'm not taking more. So that was Tuesday. Okay, Wednesday. Wednesday was another 2 loss day. So frustrating. So frustrating. Yeah, and I made the same mistake I made Monday. I made it again today, which I could not even believe. But I took a long near the open. Before entering this trade, looking at the pre-market price action, I had a little bit of an inkling that I should stay out. I didn't love it, but it was okay. It's like a gray area. And part of my goal this week is to stay out of the gray area trades and only take clean, clear setups. So the fact that I took this trade is really disappointing. I somehow convinced myself that it was okay. It did go in my favor a little bit. So I lowered my loss. This is also an example of a trade where if I didn't move my stop, it actually would have been a winning trade. So that's something I'm going to have to do a deep dive when I get more trades under my belt. I'm constantly feeling like I don't have enough data to make like conclusions. I'm getting better at identifying good trades. So like, if I just entered only good trades, like it's possible I can move my stop the way that I'm doing right now, but I just don't know yet. So I'm going to keep it the way it is. But yeah, it kind of sucks to know that if I didn't move my stop, I could have had a winning trade. But also, maybe I shouldn't have taken this trade at all. So that's really, I think I have a little bit of FOMO. I have FOMO of missing out on a potential move. And I like Like I want to take them all, even if it's a gray area. And I'm that muscle, it's like a muscle that needs to be exercised. That decision of if I don't know, if it's not clear, don't take it. And being okay with that. I right now sometimes I get like a little bit of a feeling like I know I don't love it, but I want to try it anyway because maybe it'll work. And I can't tell the difference between like that feeling because it's a bad setup versus hesitation. I don't want to hesitate. That was a huge problem of mine for a long time. I don't want to hesitate on good trades. I can't distinguish between the two. And so if I feel like I'm hesitating, I'll take the trade because what I don't want to happen is see that I hesitated on a trade and it was a winning trade. I get very frustrated when that happens, and then I take a lesser quality setup, it loses, and that cycle will repeat forever. So being able to see a trade and say, I'm staying out because it's not super clear is a huge hurdle of mine right now. That's one of like two hurdles I feel like that is in my way. All right, I then kind of hesitated on a trade. I wanted to come in short right here, but I was like, you know what? I told myself I'm not going to take trades that are gray areas that I'm not 100% sure about, so I'm going to stay out. I'm going to stay out. And I did, and it was a winning trade. So this is the kind of thing that is kind of triggering for me, honestly, where I choose to stay out because it doesn't look good. I don't like the price action, but it turns out it's a winning trade. Where, I take a trade earlier that I thought looked okay, and it was a losing trade. I feel like I can't flip that. This is like the story every day. Very frustrating. I stayed out over here, which I'm proud of. I didn't like the price action, so I forced myself to stay out. I really had to like fight my brain on this one. I stayed out. Proud of myself. It would have been like an immediate loss. Now I did come in long up here. So price just chopped around now for a while, and I was kind of expecting to not get another opportunity to take a trade. I kind of zoned out a little bit here. And maybe that was a mistake because when I saw price break through, I thought maybe I'm going to have an opportunity for a pullback. That's the trade I took right here. I came in at the top, of course, and in the moment, just like Monday, the same exact thing. This was the same setup. I looked at the wrong candle. This trade did not meet my criteria, and it's something I look for in the footprint chart. And it's like the most objective thing on my checklist. It's one of the most objective things where I can clearly see I should have stayed out. I don't know what happened. Again, my brain is not processing and looking at the right things. I'm not looking at the right candle. I cannot believe I made this mistake again. I was beyond frustrated. Yeah, I mean, I have nothing else to say on that. I should not have taken it. Maybe because I zoned out, maybe I like rushed myself to try to enter this trade. I don't know. I thought I took it slow. Like the next candle was printing. I didn't force myself in. I made sure I slowed down, looked for what I thought I needed to look for, decided everything was good, and then I entered. And then looking back, I realized I should not have entered. And it's so crazy because in the moment, on all of these trades, most of them, I don't feel like I'm doing something wrong. So how do I fix this issue? I don't know. And it's really something I'm struggling with. But at the same time, I do see like I had discretion to stay out of trades throughout the week. But I didn't have enough discretion to stay out of more trades. And then my brain processing the wrong thing, I don't know how to fix. Okay, so my takeaways and lessons learned from this week is that I absolutely need to be more selective on trades. This is one of the biggest hurdles. This is a hurdle in my way I need to overcome. Part of this being a short week, I think part of the problem was that it was a short week. I felt a little bit of anxiety because I felt like I didn't have a lot of opportunities this week. Yeah, especially coming today too. I was like, this is my last day to trade. I'm in a huge hole. I want to make up. I want to bring my account back to break even. I know if I can just take like one trade, I know it's possible. And so I think I'm forcing things maybe. I don't know. Because I made a promise to myself at the start of this week that I was going to be more discreet, only take the best setups, and yet that's not what I did. So that's really frustrating. Let market structure help you decide entries. So I'm realizing actually how important market structure is to help me identifying choppy versus clean price action. And it also helps me with entries. Sometimes I'm reading things wrong. Like Monday, I missed out on a trade. And then it actually helped me today. So that little inkling of a feeling this morning I had to not enter my first trade was because I didn't like the way market structure was. And then another trade I stayed out of, again, I didn't like the way market structure was. So it actually is really important. It's one of the first things we all learn, I think, and when we're learning basic trading ideas. It's really important. And I'm realizing that all this time later. And then I need to be paying full attention. I zoned out a little bit when price action was choppy. It's just so boring to watch it when it's not doing anything. So I kind of do other things. Maybe that's why, maybe I entered too quickly on that second trade because I had zoned out for a little bit. I'm not sure, honestly. I don't know because in the moment, I actually thought I slowed down. Like, I really thought I did. I thought I slowed down enough that I was looking at it correctly. But that's not the case. So, yeah, very frustrating. But I think the first two things are going to probably come up over and over until I'm where I need to be. But being more selective on my trades is potentially my number one hurdle right now. When I look at my backtest sessions and I see where I should be, if I only traded the best, cleanest, clearest setups and didn't take the other ones, I should be close to passing instead of in drawdown. And it's such a big gap. It's actually very surprising how big the gap is. And it feels very hard to close it. I'm trying so hard and yet just not doing like what I need to do to get there. And it's very frustrating. Yeah. Anyways, that's my recap for the week. It's a 4 day weekend, so it kind of sucks. It's a holiday where we want to enjoy our time off and everything, but going into a long weekend, frustrated, knowing you didn't follow your plan, you didn't reach your goals it just makes me want like the next week to come because I want another chance. So it's kind of hard. It's also easy to forget things over a long weekend, so I think I'm going to have to do a little bit of studying and just reminders for myself. I'm going to do my best to enjoy the holiday. I hope you have a great Thanksgiving, and I will see you next week.